All right, this is the first official, college sports review we gonna do. And by the way, I am a big U of M fan, lifelong U of M fan, I must say. But we back, Motor City Sports Talk, we in the building, and we are reacting to University of Michigan, taking down Florida State. And Florida State, I think number 0, he was a problem right there with the jersey on. I mean, he was on the boards. He was a transfer from Tennessee, I believe. After the coach, end up, something happened with the coaching, had to switch it up, and they let him out of it. They released him from Tennessee because of the coach wasn't there, or he went somewhere else or whatever. But he definitely was one of the stars on the floor, and Michigan played hard all night, man. I don't know what conference these refs were from, but the refs really tried to take it from Michigan tonight, man. They really did. They tried to take this game from them with petty calls and inconsistent calls on the other end. And they gave Florida State every shot they wanted to give them to win this game, but Florida State just couldn't, get enough buckets, basically what it came down to. But, Mo Wagner was in a lot of foul trouble. Simpson ran the team like he was supposed to run the team. He just can't shoot free throws. Rockman missed some big free throws down the stretch, but he made a lot of good plays happen. And then the other kid, I forget his name, he iced the game with the free throws. Thank God he was a 90% free throw shooter. And overall, Michigan, they made enough shots. They grinded out enough. But defense won championship. It was the number 1 defense in the Big Ten. And it shows throughout this tournament. If you can, play defense and defend, your shot's going to eventually drop. And for Florida State, they just didn't have the size to deal with Mo Wagner and the backup center. I don't know his name for some reason. For Michigan, they couldn't deal with that size, and they just couldn't deal with it. Man, what was the Simpson kid? Not the Simpson. It was the other guy who had all the points. I can't remember his name. He's a guard. He had the most points for Michigan. Him and number 0. They made a lot of plays to keep their team afloat, but it basically came down to defense, and Michigan was a better defensive team. They had more rallies. When I'm talking about putting, possessions together where they scored back to back. So they was able to go 3 or 4 minutes without scoring the ball because they were scoring in spurts and they was defending. And it didn't help Florida State that they wasn't a big 3-point shooting team. So once they got behind, it was gonna be an uphill battle for the rest of the night. And that's exactly what it was. If you can't shoot threes, you don't have a lot of 3-point specialists out there, it's going to be hard to beat a team like Michigan. It's going to be hard to make a run in the tournament. A lot of these teams like, Loyola Chicago and then the VCUs and a lot of those teams that make those Cinderella runs like George Mason, they shoot well. They shoot well. They get hot. Florida State, they didn't shoot well enough. And they didn't have the capabilities to really bring in those 3-pointers like they need be. But like I said, I don't know what conference these refs were from. These refs missed a lot of calls, and they did a lot of phantom calls. They missed the goal 10 when Michigan should have dropped it right in the bucket. They missed that. They missed it, and then they called 2 fouls on Mo Wagner, 2 petty fouls back to back. That you don't make in that situation in a close game like that. But despite a whole bunch of bad calls from the referee crew, I'm pretty sure it ain't from the ACC, and I'm pretty sure they're not from the Big Ten because that wouldn't be right because you had you had an ACC team and a Big Ten team. But hey, the Michigan came out with the win. You really can't complain about it. Florida State played their heart out. Florida State been a program that been to the tournament a few times. I think they had one of the highest win percentages in the ACC. So it's a program that coach is building up. I done seen them had a lot of solid players come out of there, and they always long. They might not always be the biggest, in the form of weight, but they're a very lengthy, long team, and that's the type of the players that he recruit. And hopefully the nation, recognizes and players recognize they want to go to Florida State. Florida State is more known for a football team, but that basketball coach, I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. It's becoming too off to hear, but because I haven't been covering basketball all year round, but he's definitely building something special in Florida State, and I have to give credit where credit is due. And hopefully, a lot of players in that area and around the world, pay attention and want to come to Florida State because he's a hell of a coach. And I see what type of players year in and year out that he likes, long and lengthy guys. He likes those long guys because those long guys can run guys off the three-point line. You play zone, which I thought Florida State should have played a little bit more zone, but maybe they didn't play zone because Michigan was so much of an excellent three-point shooting team, and they were zone busters. And Michigan didn't play a lot of zone, I don't believe, either. They play a lot of man. So it was a man-to-man affair. I thought Michigan could have fell into some zone, but obviously you don't want to give a team with the length of Florida State second and third opportunity because that's what happens when you play zone. You give up a lot of offensive rebounds. So basically it was more like a pro game with the long shot clock with them going man-to-man and a lot of late pick and rolls in the offense and a lot of the guards have to make plays or feed it to the big man. And I thought they should have featured the taller kid and Mo Wagner in the post a lot. A lot of the time they have smaller guys on their hip, and both guys can finish with both hands. They were both excellent finishers around the bucket. And they need to probably expose that if they get that matchup where they got those two tall kids down at the block, expose that matchup. Clear off the side, with the guard and the big guy, and you wear that matchup out. When you got guys that got the English around the rim as those big guys do, you take advantage of that. Then you might see a double team come collapse. Then you kick out. You get your wide open 3-point shots. I believe if they would have got Mo Wagner, some closer shots earlier in the game, maybe that 3-point shot would have started to fall with more consistency. They got to start playing a little bit more inside out with their bigs. Going to their tournament, they facing Loyola Chicago, which got a lot of magical luck and run on their shoes right now, and on their whole organization, the whole program. It's going to be a good game. I haven't really watched them play, but I can anticipate it's going to be a good game. They're a high-scoring team. They're 11 seed, but don't let them fool you. They ballers. They ballers. And, we're going to see how the rest of the tournament unfolds. Tomorrow with Kansas and Duke and Villanova and whoever they playing. Maybe West Virginia or something. No, they playing, Villanova's playing Texas Tech, I believe. So it's going to be a good day of basketball tomorrow, and let's get ready to enjoy, Michigan making it to the Final Four. And for Sparty, you enjoy it next year, or the year after next, or the year after that. Michigan basketball taking over the state of Michigan, and football, we coming back for that as well. Go Blue.